Welcome back to our panel. I want to talk about an election that took place over the weekend that some people may not have been aware of. Dan, let's start with you. What does it say about the Republican Party in Arizona?
Well, Kelly Ward was elected to lead the Republican Party in Arizona, and she was a failed candidate in the Senate, and she was on the radar a long time ago. She was openly critical of Senator John McCain, and she is a bomb thrower. And this says something about what direction apparently the party wants to go, very hard right. I think she has some good leadership qualities, but is this the kind of Republican that your vanilla flavored Republican really wants to be associated with? We'll see. I think the Republican and the Democratic parties have bigger issues, and that is the fact that the independent voter is growing in Arizona. Nobody wants to be associated with the party. So they may have bigger issues than trying to sell Kelly Ward to the GOP.
Sarah, does this challenge the party overall in the state?
Well, I think it does in the sense of if you take into account everyone who is registered as a Republican. I know there are a lot of people who are, I'm a fiscal conservative, but I don't agree with President Trump or Dr. Kelly Ward. I mean, I think in one sense, you can't say, well, the GOP really is, we're more middle of the road, we don't agree with Trump, blah, blah, blah. When your party is being led by Dr. Kelly Ward, the Republicans who don't agree with that need to get involved, be part of the process, and the question is, will that ever happen?
Hank, do the average Republicans look at Kelly Ward as extreme right wing?
Well, define average Republicans these days. I mean, this is the party of Donald Trump. So do the people who are, in the party of Donald Trump look at Kelly Ward as an extremist? No. But do the people who are in more the party of Doug Ducey look at Kelly Ward as an extremist? Absolutely. It is a war between those two wings of the party, and right now the farther right wing just took over Arizona's party.
And that's a very good point. This is now a party that says John McCain is not Republican enough, Jeff Flake is not Republican enough, and you do have to take Kelly Ward's statements and you have them on a political level and then you have them on a personal level, and she is no holds barred. She is a bomb thrower, and but to Sarah's point, does it really matter who the chairwoman of the Republican Party is in Arizona? Do most Republicans really know or care? What kind of influence does that have? Well, it may that person may help bring more money into the state, and they actually may influence who's going to end up on the ballot. Ultimately, we decide, though. The voters decide.
All right, you brought up the state legislature earlier. I want to talk about this. More diverse, we have more women, more minorities, more Democrats finally. Will that change the climate at the Arizona state legislature? Any guesses, Sarah?
Every session starts with, this is the time we're going to be bipartisan, and then it invariably kind of separates. I think some of the more caustic members of the legislature may have been somewhat chastened or voted out of office. So I hope so. I'm hopeful. It's what we need to have happen, but I don't know.
Okay, Dan?
On occasion, Democrats have good ideas, but they haven't been heard for many, many years in the state legislature. I think now with a much narrower margin for the Republicans, I'm hoping that this will change things and that it will be more collaborative and there will be more compromise. There will be a little bit more diplomacy and civility, but it's not going to happen.
Take these two data points. The state Senate has not heard a Democratic bill in committee yet. All the talk of bipartisanship, every single bill that's gone to committee so far has been a Republican bill, just like every year before it. The state House just changed the rules to limit debate. The idea was to keep Democrats from talking and talking and talking on. It's not a kumbaya up there, no matter what they're saying. The governor made a big show about, Katie Hobbs, my partner at, the Secretary of State's office, and, Democrats here in the chambers, but at the end of the day, it's business as usual at the Capitol.
Okay, why don't we come back in April or May and have the same conversation? We'll see if we have anything to refer to. All right, my thanks to all three of you.
Thanks.